Nepal has voted in a crucial general election that could reshape its political future. The vote comes less than a year after massive youth-led protests forced the resignation of former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. Now, those protests, largely driven by young voters and social media activism, shook Nepal's political establishment and triggered a major power shift. An interim government led by former Chief Justice Sushila Karki took charge, promising to restore political stability and guide the country towards fresh elections. Now, as vote counting begins, the outcome of this election is being watched very closely, not just in Nepal but also in India. For India, Nepal is not just another neighboring country. The two nations share an open border, deep cultural ties, and strong economic links. Millions of people across the border every year for work, trade, and family connections. And because of this close relationship, political changes in Kathmandu often have direct implications for New Delhi. That is why India is carefully tracking the results of this election. The vote will determine which political forces shape Nepal's next government and how Kathmandu chooses to manage its relations with its largest neighbor. The political contest this time is unusually dynamic. More than 3,000 candidates are competing for seats in parliament. Among the prominent contenders are leaders from traditional left-wing parties, figures from the Nepali Congress, and a new generation of politicians who have emerged from social movements and urban activism. One of the most talked about faces in this election is Balin Shah, the rapper turned politician who rose to national attention after becoming mayor of Kathmandu. Shah is seen as a symbol of the youth-driven political energy that shook the country last year. His campaign has strongly appealed to younger voters who are frustrated with corruption and slow economic growth. The background to this election lies in the dramatic protest of 2025. Thousands of young people took to the streets across Nepal, demanding jobs, transparency, and an end to political nepotism. The demonstrations quickly grew into a nationwide movement. Several people were killed during clashes with security forces. The unrest eventually forced the Oli government to step down, leading to the formation of the interim administration. Now, that movement marked one of the biggest political upheavals Nepal has seen in recent years. But while domestic politics dominates the election campaign, India remains an important factor in the background. Relations between New Delhi and Kathmandu have experienced several ups and downs in recent years. Now, one of the most sensitive issues is the border dispute involving the regions of Kalapani, Lipu Lake, and Limpiadhura. Nepal claims these areas as part of its territory, while India administers them as part of the state of Uttarakhand. The dispute intensified in 2020 when Nepal released a new political map that included these territories within its borders. Tensions resurfaced again in late 2025 when Nepal issued a new 100 rupee banknote showing the disputed area as part of its national map. India strongly criticized the move, calling it a unilateral action that does not change the reality on the ground. The dispute has since become a sensitive political issue in Nepal's domestic politics, with several parties using nationalist rhetoric during election campaigns. Now, another long-standing source of tension is the perception among some Nepali political groups that India behaves like a big brother in the relationship. These sentiments date back to the controversy surrounding the 2015 constitutional crisis in Nepal. At that time, Kathmandu accused India of supporting protests by Madhesi groups along the border and indirectly causing a months-long disruption of essential supplies. India denied those allegations and said the disruptions were caused by protests on the Nepali side of the border. Now, because of these complex dynamics, India has taken a cautious diplomatic approach in the run-up to the election. Major bilateral initiatives have largely been paused while New Delhi waits to see which political coalitions emerges in Kathmandu. Officials believe it is important to work with a stable government that has a clear mandate from the Nepali people. For India, stability in Nepal is crucial not just for political reasons but also for security and economic cooperation. The open border means developments in Nepal can directly affect India's northern regions. Trade routes, energy cooperation and infrastructure projects also depend heavily on political trust between the two countries. As vote counting continues, the focus now shifts to who will form the next government in Kathmandu. The outcome could shape Nepal's domestic policies and its approach towards India for years to come. For New Delhi, the message is clear. Nepal's political future matters deeply to India, and the results of this election could influence the direct of one of South Asia's most important bilateral relationships.